Good afternoon, class, and welcome to Chapter 9, Section 2. Tonight's notes will be in two parts. We will do the area for circles in the first video, and then you'll have to stop and play the second video, area of polygons. So I do want to say Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you didn't eat too much candy and that you have made time to take your notes so you're ready for class tomorrow. All right, so at any time, remember, you can pause me, so you might want to go ahead and pause, write your I will statement, which will be good for both videos, your title, which goes in your talk or your table of contents, which is good for both videos, and then to start off, because the first video we're doing is area of a circle, so you will need this little piece here. So go ahead and pause, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Okay, welcome back. I'm glad you're ready to move on with circles. A couple of variables we will be talking about is the R. You'll notice the R variable throughout the problems, and then the D. So R is standing in for radius, if you've never seen it, and D is the diameter. And then I wrote myself a little note. It does take 2 radii to equal 1 diameter. And the diameter is a chord that passes through the center. So the radius and the diameter both contain the center of the circle. Okay, so circumference is same as perimeter, and we are dealing with area. So you should have 2 little foldables, and I'm going to start with the one that has the circles on it. And of course, I'm going to write some things to get you started, and you are going to finish some on your own. So first, every time I'm going to use a formula, I am going to write that formula. I know it's on a formula chart, and I know you memorized it, but if I write it for myself every time, then it's going to be a little bit easier to use. All right, the first one says find the circumference of the given circle. Circumference is pi d, or 2 pi r, and they gave me the diameter, so I'm just going to use pi d. So pi is pi, and diameter was 6 over pi. Now remember, everything we do is going to be a little bit of a twist, so we are going to leave things in terms of pi. So we'll talk more about that in class, and then talk about the difference of using 3.14 versus the pi key in the calculator. So now I just need to clean this up. Pi times 6 over pi is 6 pi over pi. And I can reduce these 2 pi's, and I just get a circumference of 6 centimeters. All right. Number 2, you're just finding the area. So I went ahead, wrote my area formula, and I'm really confident you can do this one on your own. Open it up. Number 3, find the circumference in which the area is given. So I'm using 2 formulas. I need the circumference formula and the area formula. So notice if I have the area, it's not really going to help me find the circumference. I have to go back and find the radius and then turn around and use the radius for circumference. So I'm going to take the area they gave me, set it equal to my area formula, and now it's just a basic algebra problem of solving for r. So I am going to divide by my pi so that my pi is gone. And I get 49 equals r squared. I'm really confident from here you can find r, and once you find r, you're going to plug it back in and find the circumference. On number 4, pretty straightforward. They just want to know what's the radius if I give you my circumference. So plug it into your formula, work backwards, and then you can find r. All right, so number 5, here's our application. This is going to be what our homework looks like, our assignment in class. So you need to read the word problem. It is asking you to find the areas, the restricted areas, so analyzing your table. And I gave you some steps. So again, I did write the area formula, and here's my steps. First, I need to find the areas of the animals. So find the area for the turtle. That's 20 squared times pi. Find the seal, so pi times 100 squared. I can write it either way. Then once you do that, you're going to need to find their difference. Then I want you to go back and make sure that you're answering the question they asked. And I'm going to be asking you that same question when you get to class tomorrow. Okay. On the back, I'm just going to give you a little bit of clues for this one. I'm not going to set it up for you. I'm not going to solve it. That's going to be up to you. But I do want to point out some things. If I'm talking about rotations, that's how many times the circle turns. So if you've never heard rotations before, those are the turns. And then I've traveled 50 feet. So I want you to think about the circumference and tie all this together and see what we can come up with in class. All right, so that concludes the first video on area of a circle. And don't forget to watch a video for area of a polygon. We will be checking both of these tomorrow.